There are places on this planet that just don't want you there. They push back, reminding you that nature is wild, unpredictable, and sometimes downright hostile. The Drake Passage is one of them. A place where even the bravest sailors feel a chill run down their spine. It's a stretch of water at the bottom of the world, a chaotic blender where oceans collide in a never-ending battle of currents and wind. Sailors call it the Drake Shake, the Screaming 60s, and most of all, the most dangerous waterway on Earth. These names aren't just for show. They're warnings passed down through generations. Here, the planet reminds us who's really in charge, and it's not us. The ocean's power is absolute, and it shows no mercy. For centuries, this was the only way to get from the Atlantic to the Pacific without crossing a continent. Every journey was a gamble with fate. The stories from this place are legend. Ghost ships, monstrous waves, icebergs appearing like phantoms in the fog. Each tale is a warning, echoing through time. The sea here doesn't just want to sink your boat, it feels like it wants to swallow your soul. Every wave is a test of will and nerve. The danger is as real today as it was 400 years ago. Technology may have changed, but the Drake's fury remains the same. GPS and forecasts don't matter when you're caught in the grip of the Drake. Out here, nature always has the final say. Waves can reach 60 feet, towering over ships like watery mountains ready to crash down at any moment. Down here, rogue waves are just the regular kind. The unpredictable becomes the everyday, and survival is never guaranteed. It's relentless chaos that tests steel, engineering, and human courage. Every crossing is a battle, and not everyone wins. The Drake Passage has earned its reputation, one shipwreck at a time. Each wreck is a silent testament to the sea's unforgiving nature. But understanding the Drake is about more than a nasty piece of water. It's about the raw, untamable power of our planet. It's a force that shapes history and humbles even the boldest explorers. It's a story of human ambition, and a humbling reminder that some corners of Earth still command respect. No matter how advanced we become, there are places that will always be wild. The Drake Passage is a living monster, its story written in the wrecks below. Its legend grows with every ship that dares to cross, and every soul that faces its wrath. Before the Panama Canal, the world was a much bigger place. Oceans separated continents like vast, impassable barriers, and every journey was an epic in itself. If you wanted to get from New York to California, you could go overland, a nightmare of deserts, mountains, and endless hardship, or sail all the way around South America, a route that could take months and was filled with danger at every turn. The final, dreaded leg was rounding Cape Horn, right at the mouth of the Drake Passage, where the Atlantic and Pacific collide in a fury of wind and waves. Ships were made of wood, powered only by the wind. Your life depended on canvas, rope, and your captain's skill. Every decision could mean survival or disaster. As you sailed south, the world changed, colder, grayer, and the sea became a violent beast. The sky darkened and the wind howled day and night. The roaring 40s and furious 50s shredded sails and snapped masts, testing every ship and sailor to their limits. Icebergs drifted silently, waiting to tear open hulls. Even the most experienced captains feared these frozen giants, hidden in the mist. Sailors had a saying, below 40 degrees south there is no law, below 50 there is no God. Scurvy, starvation, frostbite, these were constant threats haunting every voyage. Rigging froze solid, men lost fingers just doing their jobs. The cold was relentless, seeping into bones and spirits alike. Imagine months on a creaking boat tossed by a merciless sea, nothing but gray ocean in every direction. The isolation was total and hope could fade with every storm. Rounding the Horn was the ultimate prize and terror. Many ships were beaten back, forced to try again for weeks, their crews exhausted and supplies dwindling. Others vanished, ending in the frigid depths, their stories lost to the waves and the cold silence below. For those who made it, it was a badge of honor, a testament to courage, endurance, and luck. But for every success, countless others paid the ultimate price, turning these waters into a vast, unmarked graveyard. The ocean kept its secrets well. This was global trade before we found a better way. Every shipment, every voyage was a gamble with fate. The Drake Passage was the final test. Only the toughest survived, their names whispered in ports around the world. The rest became legends, or warnings, their fates a reminder of the sea's unforgiving power. Sir Francis Drake, explorer, privateer, pirate, set out in 1578 to raid Spanish ships along the Pacific. To get there, he navigated the treacherous Strait of Magellan. But as he emerged into the Pacific, a storm blew in, lasting 52 days. The storm separated his fleet and pushed the Golden Hind far south into uncharted waters. Drake realized Tierra del Fuego was an island, not a continent, and south of it was a vast, open sea, the Drake Passage. He didn't sail through it, but he was the first to see and understand its significance. A direct, terrifying route between oceans. Drake survived, but his accidental discovery forever linked his name to the world's most violent sea passage. After Drake, the passage was known, but no less feared. Captain James Cook was the first to deliberately sail through the Drake Passage and cross the Antarctic Circle in the 1770s. Cook's journals describe eternal fog, ice-coated rigging, and bone-chilling cold. He proved there was no southern continent in temperate zones but confirmed the far south was a realm of ice and storms. Then came Shackleton. In 1914 his ship Endurance was trapped and crushed by ice east of the Drake Passage. Shackleton and his crew survived months on ice floes, then made an 800-mile journey in a small boat across the Drake to South Georgia Island. They faced hurricane-force winds and colossal waves in a 22-foot boat. It was a feat of navigation and grit that seems almost superhuman. Shackleton's ordeal is a testament to the crushing power of the Antarctic, with the Drake Passage at its heart. Survival here is never guaranteed. What makes the Drake Passage so deadly? Why do so many sailors fear this stretch of water more than any other on Earth? It's a perfect storm of geography, oceanography and weather, all colliding in one place to create a gauntlet of hazards. At 60 degrees south there's no land, just open ocean circling the globe with nothing to break the wind or waves for thousands of miles. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current, the world's most powerful, flows unimpeded, carrying more water than all the world's rivers combined. It's a relentless force, always moving, always churning. This current is funneled through the narrow, 600-mile-wide Drake Passage, accelerating like water through a fire hose, squeezing all that energy into a single turbulent corridor. Add in relentless storms, born in the Pacific and intensified by frigid Antarctic air, and you get the infamous screaming 60s, where the weather can turn deadly in minutes. Winds regularly exceed 60 miles per hour, whipping up waves 40 to 50 feet high. These are not just big waves, they're walls of water, capable of swallowing ships whole. The remoteness is unforgiving. If something goes wrong, you're utterly alone, hundreds of miles from help. Rescue is often impossible, and the nearest land is days away. Water temperatures just above freezing mean survival time is measured in minutes. Hypothermia sets in almost instantly if you end up in the water. Icebergs, thick fog, and the constant violent motion of the sea add to the danger, making navigation a nightmare even for experienced crews. The Drake Passage is a zone actively hostile to human presence, a place where nature is in total control and humans are mere intruders. Geography and weather conspire here like nowhere else, creating a maritime battlefield that tests every ship and sailor to their limits. It's the world's most perfect maritime storm. Only the prepared survive. Most don't. The Drake Passage doesn't forgive mistakes, it punishes them. For centuries, shipping was held hostage by geography. The only way from Atlantic to Pacific was the long, deadly trip around Cape Horn. Then came the Panama Canal, an engineering marvel completed in 1914. The canal cut weeks off travel time and made the perilous Drake Passage obsolete for most commercial ships. Shipping routes were redrawn, trade became faster and safer, and Panama became a global crossroads. For sailors, it was a godsend. Rounding the Horn was no longer a mandatory rite of passage. The Drake Passage faded from daily shipping concerns, becoming legend. The canal stands as a monument to human ingenuity, taming one of the world's most dangerous routes. The Drake Passage remained wild, but its role in commerce was drastically reduced. Now, only those with special reasons, scientists, adventurers, navies, brave its waters. For everyone else, the big ditch in Panama is the civilized way across. Modern technology, steel hulls, engines, GPS, hasn't tamed the Drake Passage. The sea doesn't care about your gadgets. A 60-foot wave is as deadly now as it was for Drake. In 2010, the cruise ship Clelia II was battered by a storm, left drifting and powerless. In 2022, the Viking Polaris was hit by a rogue wave, killing one passenger and injuring others. These incidents prove the danger is not just history, it's an ever-present reality. The forces here are on a different scale. If your ship fails, you're in a world of trouble. Technology gives us a fighting chance, but no guarantees. In the Drake Passage, nature still has the final say. With the Panama Canal, most ships avoid the Drake Passage. It's too dangerous, too unpredictable, and too far out of the way. The few ships here are naval vessels, rugged fishing boats, and ice-strengthened cruise ships for Antarctic tourists. For commercial shipping, the risks far outweigh the rewards: immense wear and tear, astronomical fuel costs, and sky-high insurance. Why risk a billion-dollar ship when there's a safer canal to the north? Even post-Panamax vessels often choose longer routes over the Drake. The threat of catastrophic damage or collision with an iceberg is too great. The Drake Passage is a pariah of the commercial world. We avoid it for the same reason our ancestors feared it. The odds are stacked against you. Technology has improved, but the fundamental forces of nature have not. The current still rages, storms still howl, and waves still reach for the sky. The Drake remains a wild frontier, resisting our attempts to control it. Sometimes the smartest move is simply to go around. The Drake Passage isn't just a villain in maritime lore, it's vital to our planet's health. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current acts as a planetary thermostat, distributing heat and isolating Antarctica. Without the Drake, the world's climate would be drastically different. The churning water brings nutrients to the surface, fueling massive blooms of phytoplankton, the base of the marine food web. The Southern Ocean's biodiversity, from krill to whales, depends on this turbulence. The Drake Passage is the beating heart of the world's oceans, driving global circulation and weather. Our struggle with it is a story about human limits. We can build bigger ships, but we can't tame the forces that shape our world. The Drake Passage is a place of humbling power and profound importance. It's a symbol of the ultimate frontier, where the lines are drawn by the enduring power of the Earth itself.